people who serve the jobs and management level, for the most part, go to non-nationals. The only hotel in Barbados that had a history of putting non-Barbadians in the senior management positions at all levels was Elegant, and that is now sold. And the expatriate managers decided to come back. Colony Club got a fellow down there, so I can't remember the name, but difficult to call, you know. And so they started to bring back the because I think what they call it, Marriott's bought it. So Marriott's is bringing in mind you, it was being run successfully by Barbadians, and for the most part, black Barbadians. They have taken over. I know the black Barbadians are being relegated to the menial jobs or the management level jobs that, you know, like lower management. So that's what we want. That's what we want for our people. Even like sous chefs at Sandy Lane, where the sous chefs come from, overseas. They're general managers. I had one local one, I think, and he was a white fellow too. All of them come from overseas, and they treat the people like dirt. I go down there, and they even brought an HR man from Egypt.
What?
From Egypt. Telling you. Not the current HR person is from the United States, but the one before her was from Egypt. They have no regard for Barbadians. And they treat the people down at Sandy Lane like dirt. And people say, oh, Sandy Lane what? Sandy Lane is a slave place. Is a
slavery all over again. Slavery. And look at what our black governments are doing. Look at what they're doing. They're going to fill Bridgetown with hotel for tourists. And forget all about black Barbados.
I even had a situation where one of the managers at Sandy Lane saw this young lady, and then she turns around. There's an ample thing behind there. And Hattie had wild. He contacted her on Facebook. The idiot changed his name, but didn't change his picture. And tried to hook up with her. Next thing you know, then she said no, she's looking for work. That's what the one going to prostitute our young women. I challenge them to do that, and they don't want to pay them.
Right, and this is you know, boy. I mean, I'm saying
they took 48% cut in salary during COVID. I tell the people that don't like it, it's tough. They cut people's salary 48%. And the people that know this take it. Then you had bartenders cutting down bush to all go home. And the Barbados workers, you know, that represented most of them, said nothing. Because all of them met together. When we in this together, it means we are enslaving our people. So all of them met together.
You know, someone wrote here, it says, yeah, the economy is solely based on tourism, and most of the employment is in the hospitality services. Currently, everything is being reviewed, he says, to increase manufacturing in the Republic. But I want to say to this person that one of the things I was in the pandemic, I remember when they started to push this agricultural program to develop agriculture and so on. And I started to say, yes, I could work with this government. I could, you know, I'm like, this is good. This is good. We could really, really turn things around here and diversify and cut our food bill. And I got involved in it, only to realize that the people weren't serious. They weren't serious. They weren't serious at all. I went and started my thing, and I'm like, hold a minute, what? They dropped it totally and went straight back to tourism. I said, oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're serious. Look, we have indigenous black belly sheep. And next thing you know, you got more black belly sheep in Texas because we export them. Now you want good black belly sheep, you want to Ghana right now. You got to be send them out there. We ain't serious about agriculture, nothing so. We lot of talk.
They're
Lot of
not
talk,
serious.
talk.
Not serious. They're not
And,
serious about it. They're not serious about agriculture. I can tell you that.
and the problem too is that the few people who are serious can't get the kind of concessions that they're looking for. You know, the hotels got more concessions than you can shake a stick at, and they're looking for more, and the government gives them more. But agriculture, James Paul over there, like crying in the wilderness, trying to get help for local agriculture. You know, but the problem, I think also the problem is too with James Paul and agriculture, and but thing is that James Paul is them. So I don't care how hard you fight. To be a president party and can make James Paul look good. So that is how insular we have become.
But let me ask you something, Mr. Franklin, and others can too. Let's be real here. When they were first elected, this government, I mean, there were just so many promises, and they promoted themselves as being the bright ones, and all these, all the different adjectives that went with that, and the accolades, and everything. And it's like there was this hope. We all had this hope that somehow, they're going to diversify the economy, and they're going to. I can't believe I'm sitting here thinking about it, and you talk about us being duped, and I'm thinking about the fact that it's 5 years, and we have not seen anything. No, we have not seen any diversification. In fact, they have doubled down. They have doubled down on tourism. I mean, when you think of kinds of people, when you look at on paper and look at some of their qualifications, and there has been nothing, no creative ideas, no nothing. They haven't implemented anything that you could say, well, that could stand up. They talk about the blue economy, the orange economy, the green economy, all these colors, and they come up with these buzzwords and all of these things, and we haven't seen anything.
Oh yes, we have. We've seen senior ministers that getting more money. You forget that, huh? That's what they say. It's about them. It's about feathering their nest. It isn't about what is good for Barbados. It's what's good for who getting power. And they're finding every which way to put money in their pockets at the expense of the people about this place. So when you hear all that nice talk, it is called propaganda. That's what it is. And people believe it. And they hire people into Barbados and give them jobs. We got a guy now who is director of communications, which is a public service post. He didn't advertise it, brought him in here and gave him the job because he was the propaganda man for the Barbados Party campaign. And he's a national. And they brought him in here, and he is good at this propaganda thing. And then they turned around and didn't even pay him at the rate that the civil servant would have gotten had he been a Barbadian. They exceeded the limit for his salary and paying him, I don't know, on the what authority, but he's getting more than the post, because every post in the public service either has a fixed point, it's either a fixed salary or it's on a scale. His was a fixed point, but they pay him above the fixed point. Can't remember his name, but they will come back to me. And the bottom of the thing was from St. Kitts. And of course, there were all kind of problems with him in Dominica and all kind of places. Remember I told you that she's so unlucky. She always finding people who have dubious background. Well,
she's unlucky. She's unlucky. They're very unlucky, as you say.
But that's what they do. So they take the money and pay it to their friends. They take it and become rich. Mm-hmm. I don't mind if there's a saying, a rising tide. Let me see. They say let me see. They said I try to remember the saying. A rising tide wears all ships. All ships that come up, and the tide come up, all ships come up. But what they are doing is putting a hole in the poor people's ship. So when the tide get in water, when the tide rise, only water come in and sinking the poor people. Every opportunity for poor people, and then nobody stands up for them. We have like, a labor department. You think the labor department will go out there so and get involved and trying to protect these workers? They get called back.
Why?
Why? Because the people got a lot of influence. And then they tell you, but one, or if you don't allow us to do this, we will shut our hotels. And people get scared. Shut the damn hotels. Somebody else
Right?
will open it up. And then if you want to question, if you got an asset that you refuse to operate, then we will say, well, okay, we'll pay you and put a lesson, but let's run it. No. They then give the hotel industry everything they ask for. And then do not, like, for instance, when we had COVID and the hotels closed down, government gave the hotels money, and they said they're going to give them, they should pay the staff 80% of their salary, and the government will give them money. I can't remember the name of the program, but it bothered me. They brought the people on, and they had to do training. Rather than pay severance, they trick the people and tell them they can come in there, and then they give them 3 days at 80%. Or if they give them 5 days, they give them 5 days at 21 hours or 24 hours. Because if you lay me off and you pay and I can claim severance if I get less than 20 hours a week. So they give 21 hours or 24. You had problems living on 40 hours and they give you 21. What are you going to do? The government collaborated with the hotels to unfair these people. And then they cut back the time that you can claim severance. So now, from a year to 4 weeks. So when people decide, oh, this thing is working out, I'm going to claim severance, they have you too late. Government did that.
Wow.
They're going back to a year now. But under COVID, this government did everything possible to hurt the people who needed the most.
I tell
And
you,
then
somebody.
they give the hotels the money, and the hotels use the money instead of paying the staff to refurbish.
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
knew it. They
You
knew it.
know,
The
some
Barbados Workers Union knew it.
this guy saying all of them bring down all, please, not all these ones. You're right, Mr. Brown. It is all of them. And this is why tomorrow it is so important. The representation is important. Barbados, wait, show them that you're not sleeping. You're alive and well. Show them that you understand that it's foolishness. This Prasad coming and trying to put fear in you that, you know what, if you don't, if we pay back the money, then the dollar is going to devalue. We're not kids. It's time that we stand up to them. Look at what Caswell is talking about, what they're doing to the hotel workers. It's slavery all over. Slavery all over, and coming from the government, because guess what, they're not standing up on behalf of the people. He's saying the Ministry of Labor wouldn't even do that, and then the people the hotel workers can't they can't join a union. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Franklyn?
No, Sandals threatening the staff about joining the union.
Sandals
In particular. The other hotels you can join, but they don't pay them anything. And I can give you a story. This happened years ago. This is not new. When they first started Unity, a young lady who used to work with me at National Insurance, because I work at National Insurance too, she called me and said, Caswell, my cousin has a problem. The hotel that was here was at the time. I can't remember what you call it. And there, he's not in the union, and I want you to represent him for me. Would you represent him? I will talk with him first. So he called me, and I said, he actually came to see me. I said, well, tell me what's happening. I said, I am not saying that you should be in my union, but you should be in the union to help support your brothers and sisters. You gotta give me a good reason why I should represent, because you can't be out there sitting down and getting the benefits from the union without contributing and being part of the whole thing. He said, Mr. Franklyn, I work at this hotel. I'm a sous chef. He said, and I see union officers come into the restaurant, order lobster and all kind of stuff. And all they do when they get up is to sign something and walk out. He said, then people can't represent me. I said, I agree with you. And I went down there and represented and won the case. But the case was so tenuous. I said, you know something? These are trying to, this case don't make a lot of sense. They are looking to fire people and don't pay them, to send people don't pay them severance pay. So if they have dismissed you for cause you will get severance, these people are going to close down. I told them so. Or they're going to cut back on staff drastically. Within a month, they made an announcement that 10 more people. But they were trying their best rather than pay people severance to find ways not to pay them severance pay, but especially them for cause. Foolish nonsense.
Yeah.
That's what they do. And they said, I'm not going to the union because the union people just come down there and I believe him because right now, as I tell them, Barbados, I'm not going to call the name, offer me the opportunity to come and I can get a room and all kind of stuff. And I tell them my wife don't like hotel sheets. Right?
So they were going to give you a hotel room for yourself.
No, they were giving me a room that I can come and have a room if I wanted to. I can come and have dinner and all kind of stuff.
Those ones, careful of them.
So I told them, but my wife don't like hotel sheets. I'll give you a joke. One time she and I we went to Miami, and when we got to the hotel room, my wife stripped the bed and put on her own sheets. So I can tell you that she didn't get to the hotel, and I don't know the boys who will want to go. So I couldn't take it over.
That wasn't going to be a good gift for you then.
What they would do? They would got the cameras taking my picture, show everybody.
Yeah, you see that?
Discredit me. That was the first thing I remember. I said, these people trying to entrap me. But they offer me all kind of stuff. You'd be surprised. I go to represent people and join the case, like the case adjourned, to come back another day and during the adjournment period, I got a job offer. It happened at least 8 times.
You're serious?
I am very serious. They offer me jobs.
So the company that you are the employee, you're defending the employee, and the company that employs that employee offering you a job.
Yeah, at one case I went in there and I thought I did a reasonable job, and the owner of the hotel called me and said he want to hire me because how I perform inside there. I said, but you got HR already. Tell me I'll find somebody else for him.
Wow.
He was going to fire that man and give me the job.
Guys, you see what I tell you about Mr. Franklyn? You see what I tell you about him? And these are the people. These are the people that you need to pay attention when they're speaking to you, right? Because they are not attached. There's no strings attached to anybody. And I can tell you, none attached to me either. You understand? And none. Nobody can call up my name. That's one thing. They will not be able to dangle anything in front of me and I run and gone. They could come with whatever jobs. You hear what they're offering, Mr. Franklyn? That's what we need, people with integrity and a backbone. Because very soon, Mr. Franklyn, people say, you know what's going to happen? Very soon, the government they're going to call you into a meeting. What you going to do? When they call you in and then try to shut down this movement, what you going to do? That's what people say to me.
When I first became a senator, people think that I know a lot about the public service and that I have one of the superior knowledge base for public service things. The government was proposing to have a chairman, a full-time chairman of the Public Service Commission. So we attended a meeting on the national security issues because the parliament was very brief. And they raised a couple of questions about customs officers because they represent customs officers as well. The Prime Minister turned at that meeting and offered me the job as chairman. And I said to her at that meeting, in front of the entire Parliament, House and Senate, Chief of Staff of the Defense Force, Commissioner of Police, Permanent Secretaries, all were there when she offered me the job. And I said, Prime Minister, you know, while I agree with you that I would be the best man for that job, if I took it, they wouldn't have any good trade unionists left. You would go all.
You told her that?
Yeah, I told her that in her face, in front of the entire Parliament.
If you took the job, you told them that there'd be no good trade unionists left. Oh my God. And what did she say? What did our goodly Prime Minister say?
I don't recall. I was laughing too much. Because I don't think that she would believe that I would be one of those people who would sell hope I sold. Why wouldn't sleep good at night?
Yeah, you know, and that's what we need, guys, and that's the kind of leadership that is needed in this country. And a lot of people had that hope. A lot of people had the hope that something was going to happen. They said they campaigned against corruption. I remember all of that, you know, and now look at where we're at. Look at where we're at. The entire Bridgetown, they're going to sell off a majority of those buildings, including the government headquarters.
Including the geriatric hospital.
The geriatric hospital, the BDF site, the historic places. They're all up for sale. Oh, Barbadians. Is this what we're all about? Is this what we've come to? So you're going to tell me, I don't understand. I don't understand. I was saying to my husband today, what would Bridgetown look like? And Mr. Franklyn, I'm trying to think about it.
Bridgetown would be Swan Street. Bridgetown would be Swan Street. They would leave us in Swan Street. Baxter's Road.
For us. So we will have to be okay.
Baxter's
we
Road,
would Baxter's Road.
To the street, Baxter's Road, Swan Street, James Street, and Robert Street. That's the Bridgetown that would be left for the Barbadians.
There's nothing, Jacqueline, nothing left. I don't know how you feel as a Barbadian. You know, I'm a what you call a naturalized citizen. I'm married and became a Barbadian, and this is. Even today, we are driving through Bridgetown, going to the police headquarters. I said, Dave, what will this place look like? And does that matter? Barbadians, are you concerned about that? Jacqueline is saying, what will be left in BIM once those things go? There's nothing left to sell. You would have seen the document that we showed you the other night. And what we're still saying, you know, somebody said, you know, to me today, you know, but you know, she's doing the best that she can, you know, but what about that, Caswell? They're saying this government is doing the best that they can do.
Listen to me. If you are doing the best that you can and your best is not good enough, let somebody else get a chance to do it. And clearly they don't know what they're doing. So I am not here to hold them over so they can get their pension after 8 years and run down this country. They need to recognize that they are over there, the water is over their head and their feet are not touching the sand. They are out of their depth. And they should recognize that by now. Everything they put their hands on, it's kind of reverse Midas. It's turning to gold. And you can tell me, oh, they're doing the best you can. If you had a doctor killing 80% of his patients and that he was doing the best that he can, would you allow him to continue? Think of those things. he is doing the best that he can. So you can't say, well, come there, but he's doing the best he can. He killed 80 or 90% of the patients. Oh, he's doing the best that he can. Let me get a doctor that losing 2%. I prefer that doctor because I stand a better chance to be in the 98%. But when you tell me that he's killing 98%, I'm in trouble. So these are the doctors of the economy, and they are killing off this economy. Get another doctor. That's as simple as this, you know. You see,
So,
Barbados love politicians too much. And these politicians ain't come down from heaven, but we worship them because they set themselves up as high and mighty. I was a member of the Barbados Labour Party.
how long
And I
were
was,
you a member of the Barbados Labour Party?
how long? I, I,
Mm-hmm.
I joined the Barbados Labour Party just after I left school. And I left them when Oinafa was Prime Minister.
Why did you leave? Because people have said to me, "Oh, you have all of these ex-BLP people on." They accuse me of so many things. Ex-BLP people, you and Lynette, and then they say, "Oh, you have DLP people." Listen, it's such a small country, Oh, how you're not going to have BLP people or DLP people? But why did you leave? I don't want to take you off your train of thought. I'm
Now,
curious.
I left the Barbados Labour Party because they couldn't stand how they're behaving, especially toward me. Because I am a person, I was on the National Council. And I would say to them, but what you're doing is wrong. And then they will get attacked. I'm telling them in the environment where we are at our headquarters, and I'm saying, well, look, they don't want to hear that. They want you to go ahead, like you are mindless, and go and agree with everything. I tell people that anytime two people sit down and always agree, at least one of them is an idiot. And I fancy myself, I got a little bit of brain, and I'm going to be using. If you do not want my input, don't ask me to come. But if you ask me to come, I'm going to tell you what I believe. I might be wrong, but listen to me. And that is where we follow, because when you tell them, I remember one night, I'm in the yesterday down when Arthur came in, and everybody got up and started applauding and stuff. I was the only body left sitting. So everywhere I said, because he is not the Prime Minister of the Barbados, the Prime Minister of Barbados. He does not have any official position in here. So what should I get at? He has to, I'm an assistant secretary. He ain't got the post in here. So if you don't clap when they stand up, when they get coming, you should be clapping for he. And people thought that something was wrong with me. No. Then you stand up for the chairman when the chairman come, nobody else. And I will hear things like, I'm taking the minutes. And then they tell me, oh, but the Prime Minister wants these minutes. I said, but not in these minutes. I write it. I had to tell him one night, let me do something. Your name is Arthur Wing, not King. Nobody there left you King. And he and I were for a loggerheads for that for a long time. He said I was mad.
So when you left the Barbados Labour Party, what did you join another party?
The only time I got involved in any other party was when I helped form the PDP. And that came about because Reverend Adderley, I met him when he first became a member of Parliament. I was on the National Council, and he came into the National Council meeting, and that night Glenn Clark was chairing, and the meeting was hot. And he asked me, these meetings are always so hot. Somebody said no. Glenn is in chair, so if you keep it all that, but when now he was keep us his Caswell. And he formed some sort of attachment to me from then, because I would speak up even when Arthur was there. And so when he got the opportunity to appoint senators, he said the first body he could think of was me, because I was independent. And he told me then, speak your mind and vote your conscience. He said, don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. Even if you disagree with me, speak your mind and vote your conscience. So
Wow.
when people saw that he said something in the lower house and I disagreed in the upper house, because that is his instruction. He tell me, don't worry about me.